tour. We got more Jersey Shore we got to talk about.
Last break, we heard Snooki tell GMA she wants to have some Guido babies with her new boyfriend. But that's not the only big news this week, isn't it?
That's right. Her pal, The Situation, was put in quite the awkward situation when Jay Leno asked him to use his Italian pickup skills on Jesse Eisenberg.
Now, let's suppose that Jesse is an attractive Italian woman. What would you say? Jesse's sitting and minding his own business, having a drink at the bar. What would you say?
I would have to say, ciao, senorina.
Which that is the weakest.
That is a horrible pickup line.
That is awful. Now, okay.
Ciao, senorita. It's like saying, hey, I'm Italian and I want to hit on you.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm so American in the way that I do it. Yeah, lame. Now,
bonjour.
It's a really weird situation, right? You're on Jay Leno and he asks you to do this. No pun intended. But have you ever been in a situation like that where you're like doing Ellen or you're doing one of these talk shows and they just like kind of corner you?
I just recently did something that I thought was pretty hilarious. Well, Ellen's always funny because she'll pull up a photo. If you walk into to get coffee with anyone, like any girl, she's going to pull up the photo and not tell you before the interview. Sure. And recently on George Lopez, he told me, like, we were doing this karate bit and he's like, I want you to kick me in the leg. And I said to him, I was like, okay, I'll kick you in the leg, but I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, do you want me to kick? He's like, no, really kick me in the leg. Like one time I had somebody on the show, he talks really fast. He's like, one time I had somebody on the show, and I told him to slap me, and like they really slapped me. It was really good for the audience. So I want you to really kick me in the leg, like you missed the board. I was like, all right. And like me and my brothers, we used to take karate and stuff, so I wasn't sure if he like was aware.
That you had karate skills?
The dude was really like, I'm pretty sure he was kind of injured. Because I kicked him really hard. Because I was like, if we're going to make this look real, and the audience was like, oh, so I was like, all right.
So that's why he got canceled.
Yes.
Because you broke his leg and he couldn't perform anymore. So TBS is like, we're done with you. Get it out of here. Joe Jonas broke your leg.
He's got leg surgery.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk Fast Life with Joe Jonas. The Hollywood 5 returns next.
The weekly Hollywood 5. Kid Craddock and Hyla counting down the 5 juiciest stories of the week.
All right, we are back on the Hollywood 5. I'm Hyla in Hollywood. The man is coming off tour rehearsals just to play radio with us. Joe Jonas is in the studio.
Yes. Happy to be here, man.
Thank you so much for coming
studio.
in. Thank you.
It's comfortable.
It's cozy.
It's very cozy. You got a nice view of the highway.
We do, and then right across the street is where they shoot 2.5 Men on the WB lot, Warner Brothers.
Speaking of which.
And they do Ellen, and then Caddy Corner from us is where they do Jay Leno, so there's a lot happening here.
Yeah.
We're actually supposed to talk about your album here, and I wanted to talk about See No More. Okay, let's try and say this. Can I get a little See No More? I don't wanna wait for you. I don't wanna wake up. That sounds so much better. All right, the new album is Fast Life. I'm totally digging the theme. I feel it's a completely new sound. It's a new thing for you. That's got to be really exciting, right?
It is very exciting, man. Thank you very much. I'm pumped to be able to do this project and have the support of my bros and go into it and kind of dive in with a new sound. And See No More is perfect, I think, way to segue from what I was doing with my bros to now.
How do you figure out what you want your new sound to be? What's kind of influenced you to get to this point?
I've had a lot of time to write and record. I took the past year just working with different producers and writers, everybody from really soulful music to now where it's urban hip-hop dance music. So I was able to find that sound and really feel comfortable there.
Now, one guy that you did work with, a bit controversial, Chris Brown. What was the decision to go there? Because he's kind of like a hot plate right now. It's a love-hate relationship with Chris Brown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of his music. I've been a big fan of his music for a while, and you bump into each other all the time. I met him when he first got started to see him at award shows and things like that, and so we kind of were introduced through friends and got in the studio and just played each other music, and really just focused on the music. We didn't really dive in, to personal life stuff. We just kind of let the music carry us where it was going to go, and just wrote See No More in like 2 hours, and it felt really good about it to release it as a first single.
And I think that's really important too. I mean, talk about the time that you guys spent together in your personal time with him. I mean, it sounds like he was great. He was awesome.
It was pretty great. I brought my dog, and that was probably the biggest mistake because his dog is also an English bulldog. We both have English bulldogs, and he is a female dog, and she wanted to be the dominant one, and she threw my dog into the wall.
Okay.
And I was in this vocal booth recording, and as I look in, everybody's freaking out. I walk in, and my dog's like pinned up on the corner while this dog is just beating on my dog. And then we ended things for the night and had to come back and record the next day.
Fast Life is out October 11th. We still got to talk about this tour. We still got some more tracks that haven't even been released yet that I'm excited to play. More with Joe Jonas on the Hollywood 5.
The Hollywood 5 with Kid Craddock and Hyla.
It's Hyla in Hollywood. Pretty much an epic show today with Joe Jonas as my co-host. Do you like playing radio? Is this fun for you?
I love it, man. It's a lot of fun.
It's cool?
It's easy. Just hanging out and talking.
The Hollywood 5 top tweets of the week.
All right, let's get into some of the top tweets that we've seen so far this week. Josh Groban tweeted, "How long do you think I would survive on CougarLife.com? Hashtag just saw the commercial." I went on CougarLife.com. It pretty much is what you think it is.
That's awesome.
You actually, I would think you have a lot of history with cougars. There's
I
cougars
was
always.
say I had a lot of history with CougarLife.com. Well, yes, actually. A confession.
But moms have always had a
Yes.
special affection towards you. How do you deal with the cougar population?
Cougars. It's almost one of those things that you just feel kind of like it's accomplishing when somebody like a cougar freaks out and it's like, or like tries to hit on you. You're like, yeah, that was awesome. That was a cougar.
All right, and next up, one of our favorite tweets comes from Nicole Richie. I love her Twitter. Do you follow her Twitter?
So funny.
She's the best.
She hacks a lot of people's Twitters too. And writes ridiculous stuff.
Amazing stuff. Mellow Yellow. Nothing like looking like a bowl full of pee. Thank you, Nicole Richie. This is why we love your tweets. And here's one from Kelly Rowland. You gotta love her. She had kind of a tough week, but she's, laughing at herself about it. New Jersey crowd was amazing. Hope you enjoyed the show and didn't mind the peekaboo. LOL. Did you hear this story?
I heard about this.
She had a double
whammy.
wardrobe malfunction that went down on stage.
That's record breaking. That's not even to be embarrassed about. That's
Not at
just
all.
Like, yep.
She has nothing to be embarrassed about.
This just in. Kelly Rowland has nothing to be embarrassed about.
All right, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Find us at The Hollywood 5. We're counting down to the number one story in Hollywood. Will it be Kim Kardashian's celebrity studded wedding guest list? We're going to talk a little Jennifer Aniston baby bump watch. Plus, what is Charlie Sheen saying about 2.5 Men now? Find out as we continue the countdown and the number one story on The Hollywood 5.
From Hollywood, it's the Hollywood 5 countdown with Kid Craddock and Hyla.
What's up? It's Hyla in Hollywood, kicking it with my co-host Joe Jonas.
Yep.
Where's Kid Craddock, man? We've lost him.
Kid Craddock took the last NASA flight out to space. I really didn't have anything to come up with that one.
Still coming up on the show. Can you guess this celebrity mom?
Like another fun-filled day. I love my friends.
Before her daughters got famous, this celebrity mom spent her days making ridiculous YouTube videos.
I love my friends.
There were no YouTube back then, but of course it has now ended up. There was no tube, exactly.
I mean, Ashton just did the show on Friday and just tore the roof off the joint. He was amazing.
2.5 Men star John Cryer talks Charlie Sheen, Ashton Kutcher, and his Emmy nominations.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy is right, Jake the Bachelor. He'll be calling in and checking in and giving us the behind-the-scenes scoop of Bachelor Pad.
I'm about to shut this thing down.
That's right. Plus, Joe Jonas, he's got more tracks from the new album, Fast Life, out October 11th.
All of this as we count down to the number one story in Hollywood on the Hollywood 5.
The Hollywood 5 with Kid Craddock and Hyla.
We're back on the Hollywood 5. It's Hyla in Hollywood. My guest co-host, Joe Jonas.
Hey.
Let's talk a little Kim Kardashian. Last week we talked about this big wedding that's going down. E is having this 2-hour wedding special. It's going to be massive. And the guest list.
There's a 2-hour wedding special?
Of course. Why wouldn't there be? Wouldn't you be confused if there wasn't a 2-hour wedding special?
Wow.
The Hollywood 5 countdown update.
All right, so here's the guest list. I was looking for your name, Joe, but Will Smith and Jada.
Wow.
They've been invited. Seacrest has been invited, of course. Eva Longoria has been invited. Kanye West, Jay-Z, Beyonce.
Kanye West was invited?
What? I mean,
That's awesome.
who doesn't want Kanye West at their
I want
wedding?
Kanye West everywhere.
The wedding is in August, so we still got a couple more weeks.